Thank you so much for choosing Holland Home Leisure. This video will show you the steps to safe, clear, inviting hot tub water. Today we're going to go over hot tub water care, filtration, circulation, ongoing maintenance, and talk about a few accessories. Let's start with hot tub chemistry. The goal here is to maintain clear, safe, comfortable water for you and your family to enjoy. The most important aspect of proper water care is to keep the water safe. So why is that important? Well, hot tubs are breeding grounds for things like bacteria, viruses, fungus, and parasites. Chlorine or bromine is used to keep the water safe and sanitized from these contaminants. So microorganisms are constantly being introduced into the water from bathers, wind, etc. So it is vital to keep an effective chlorine and bromine residual in the water to ensure these microorganisms are killed on contact, preventing cross-infection, rashes, and irritated skin. So the goal, always have a chlorine or bromine residual of 3 to 5 parts per million in the water at all times. So what is allowed? In Canada, all hot tubs are required to be sanitized with a sanitizer registered with Health Canada. The Pest Control Products Act is the legislation involved, and all approved sanitizers carry a registration number referred to as the PCP number. And only bromine and chlorine products are registered for use with Health Canada, and the approved level is 3 to 5 parts per million for each. For more information on the Health Canada regulations for residential pools and hot tubs, the link is shown on the slide here. I'm sure you've heard of the term shocking a pool or hot tub, but do you know why it should be done? Well, it's the process of reducing non-filterable wastes, or the stuff in the water you don't want that the filter cannot take out, and chloramines and bromamines. So what are chloramines or bromamines? Once chlorine or bromine has attached itself to something in the water to sanitize it, you're left with a piece of used up chlorine or bromine. It serves no more purpose in your water once it has attached itself to organics, bacteria, etc. So used up chlorine and bromine smells bad. It causes excessive foaming and can lead to dull, hazy, or even extremely cloudy water. So the smell. Have you ever walked into a hotel lobby and knew instantly from the lingering chlorine smell that they have a pool? What you are smelling is the used up chlorine, the stuff that has already attached itself to the wastes of other hotel guests. So it is not that there's too much chlorine in the pool if you can smell it, it's that there's too much used up chlorine. We have to get rid of that somehow, and we do that by shocking or oxidizing the hot tub. When you add shock, or in your case, Mineralux oxygen, it actually breaks down the chloramine and bromamines and those contaminants so that they're gassed out of the water. And now this leads me to a great tip. Do not cover your hot tub immediately after shocking. Those gases need somewhere to go, and those gases can quickly break down the material of your hot tub cover. So quick recap, we shock to remove unfilterable wastes that can contribute to odors, cloudy water, and excessive foaming. I want to take the time to explain each of the water balance parameters we look for overall water balance in your hot tub. So the pH, total alkalinity, and calcium hardness. These factors play a huge role in keeping the water clear, comfortable, and to protect the surfaces of the tub. The pH of the water plays a huge role in keeping the water clear, comfortable, and ensure the hot tub surfaces and equipment last as long as they're supposed to. So what is pH? It is the potential for hydrogen and the measure of how acidic or basic the solution is. It's measured on a scale of 1 to 14. 7 is neutral. Anything below 7 is considered acidic, and anything over 7 is considered basic. Anything that touches the water can drastically change the pH. Aerating the water can drive pH up, topping up the tub with water that has a different pH. Water care products being added have their own pH, but the biggest contributor to pH change are the bathers. When you soak in 100-degree water, your pores open up and release perspiration, body oils, along with any cosmetics and lotions, etc. For your hot tub, the ideal range of pH is 7.4 to 8. We keep it in that range for so many good reasons. If the pH is too low or too high, it can cause dry, itchy skin. We want to ensure the water is comfortable to soak in, and the pH plays a huge role in this. When the pH is too low and the water is acidic, you can see the acrylic shell start to etch and the water become very corrosive to the hot tub plumbing and equipment, resulting in repairs happening far too soon. Chlorine and bromine are most effective when the pH is balanced. pH too low means your sanitizer dissipates too quickly, resulting in more product needed to maintain proper levels of your chlorine or bromine. pH too high means the sanitizer works sluggishly, resulting in cloudy water. High pH also leads to scale formation or cloudy water. The higher the pH goes, the less the water wants to have stuff dissolved into it. It starts rejecting these things that were once dissolved, resulting in particulate scaling on surfaces and cloudy water. If you need to make an adjustment to your pH, use Dazzle pH Plus to increase the pH and Dazzle pH Minus to lower the pH. Now that you know why a balanced pH is so important, let's talk about the alkalinity of the water. So what is total alkalinity? Well, it's the measure of all alkaline minerals in the water, which regulates the water's ability to resist a change in pH. So it's like a shock absorber, or as I like to phrase it, it's like the pH's mom because it keeps it in line. If the total alkalinity level is low, anything that touches the water can drastically change that pH. It can be perfect one day, then way too low the next, and then way too high the day after that. When you have the total alkalinity balanced to the ideal range of 125 to 150 parts per million, you'll see much less movement in your pH. If the total alkalinity is too low or too high, you'll see the negative side effects of pH being too low or too high. So skin irritation, corroded surfaces, possible staining, scale formation, and cloudy water. When you start with fresh water, you would test and adjust the total alkalinity first, and then make any pH adjustments from there. We recommend it be tested and balanced monthly. To increase the total alkalinity, use Dazzle TA+. Next in water balance is the calcium hardness level, which is the measure of the amount of dissolved calcium in the water. Ideal for the hot tub is to have your calcium between 100 to 200 parts per million. So water, it wants to have a certain amount of mineral dissolved into it, and if it doesn't have what it wants, it starts looking for it. The result is the water becoming aggressive to surfaces and equipment. You'll start seeing the acrylic shell etch and parts and equipment prematurely corroding. If there's too much calcium, on the other hand, the water will reject it and not allow it to fully dissolve, resulting in scale formation of the heater and other surfaces and cloudy water from suspended calcium particles. It is tested and adjusted with every fresh fill of the tub and then monthly thereafter. If the calcium level tests low, use Dazzle TH Plus to increase it. Next, let's talk about phosphates. So what are they and what harm can they do? Phosphates are the naturally occurring form of the element phosphorus, found in many phosphate minerals. In ecological terms, phosphate is a very important resource as its availability can govern the rate of growth of organisms, especially in freshwater systems. In other words, phosphate is often the determining factor in whether microorganisms like algae and bacteria grow. This important characteristic makes them undesirable in hot tub water as they can fuel an algae infestation. In addition, the presence of phosphates can create a significant demand for sanitizers like bromine and chlorine, as oxidizers like these will attempt to break them down. Phosphates will also combine with calcium ions in the water as it heats to form a calcium phosphate complex, leading to scale formation and dull or cloudy water. Phosphates provide no useful benefit, but can make successful water management problematic and costly. When we conduct a water analysis for you, we always test for phosphates. If the level in the water exceeds 100 parts per billion, Dazzle Phos Cleanse will be recommended to remove phosphates from your water. Okay, that was a lot of technical info. Let's move on to what needs to be done to treat the water. So to take the guesswork out of balancing your water, we offer free water testing for all of our customers. To get started with treating the water, drop off a 500 ml sample of your hot tub water in a clean plastic container. It will show you where your levels are currently at, and if adjustments are needed, it lists in order the steps, what products need to go in, how they go in, when they go in, and if there's any wait times. It's like a personalized prescription for your hot tub water. So what to know when using test strips? Well, the most important thing for you to test and adjust at home is your sanitizer, which is the bromine or chlorine. Now, if you're using bromine, chlorine may register on the test strip. However, you can ignore that chlorine reading completely. If you're using bromine, you don't have to use chlorine and vice versa. They're both halogens and can react on this strip similarly. And if you see that the pH, the total alkalinity or calcium levels are drastically off, bring in a water sample for easy and accurate balancing. To use the strips, you're going to dip the strip in the water for 1 second, hold it level for 15 seconds, and then match the colors to the chart. The colors will keep changing as time goes on, you'll see. So to get the most accurate reading, read the strips immediately after the 15-second wait time. A few more pointers would be high bromine or chlorine can bleach or mess with the other reagents. If you see your sanitizer is high, ignore everything else because it's not accurate. You can have a false high sanitizer reading for 24 to 48 hours after adding a shock, so keep that in mind. And lastly, avoid allowing moisture to get inside the bottle. It will spoil the strips. The Mineralex cube is the heart of the Mineralex system. The all-natural mineral formation has a tremendous ability to fuse with waste. So what does this mean? Due to the unique polarity and agglomerating nature of the natural minerals in the Mineralex cubes, any waste that enters the water is immediately fused with Mineralex. Wastes like dead skin, oils, greases, personal care products, sunscreens, etc. are released to the water. Components in Mineralex will fuse with this waste and agglomerate into larger masses for the filter to remove. This happens very quickly. It's why the water and surfaces stay so squeaky clean. Traditional systems would try to oxidize this waste or push it to the surface to keep it out of the water. Not with Mineralex. Fuse to waste and filter out. Less bromine and chlorine is needed to maintain proper safe levels. Less chemical? That's what everyone wants. Another great feat? Mineralex actually creates surfaces that become non-stick, naturally. Reverse polarity action is the fundamental reason. Almost everything that has ever been developed or used in water treatment has been cationic, but not anymore. By anionically charging surfaces, nothing sticks. And again, it's done naturally. Lastly, Mineralex hot tubs feel wonderful. It does it in 3 different ways. First, Mineralex is fused with skin conditioners that work specifically to reduce irritation and soften the skin. Second, its natural mineral formulation means a more isotonic experience. And 3, the fact that fewer chemicals are used means less chemical-created effects on the skin and body. The combination of all these mean a far more luxurious bathing experience with Mineralex. When you start with fresh water, you take 2 Mineralex cubes and put them in the skimmer basket on the side of the tub. Add 2 cubes for every 2,000 liters of water. Then every week thereafter, add 1 Mineralex cube per 2,000 liters of water into the skimmer basket. Mineralex oxygen is the shock used for your hot tub. Like discussed before, shock is used to remove non-filterable wastes from your hot tub water. It breaks down ammonia and nitrogen introduced by dust, dirt, dead skin, pollen, and other bather wastes and environmental grime. Add 1 pouch of Mineralex oxygen per 1,500 liters of water initially and then weekly thereafter. To add it to the hot tub, use scissors to open the pouch of oxygen. Broadcast or sprinkle it over the surface of the water with the pump on. Leave the cover off for 15 to 30 minutes to allow the gas produced from breaking down these wastes escape. Step 3 of the Mineralex system is adding your sanitizer. Mineralex bromine or chlorine tabs are designed for slow release of sanitizer into your hot tub water. Remember, the goal is to maintain 3 to 5 parts per million of bromine or chlorine at all times. If your hot tub is equipped with a bromine or chlorine feeder, add 2 to 4 bromine or chlorine tablets to the feeder and set the adjusted output to 50%. If your hot tub does not have a dispenser equipped on the hot tub, use the provided floating puck dispenser by taking the cap off the bottom of the dispenser, add 2 to 4 bromine or chlorine tabs, and then thread the cap back on. Next, adjust the output to setting 3 by unthreading the entire shaft from the top of the dispenser until you reach that level 3, then screw the lock ring in place to hold it there. Put the floating dispenser in the water, and if needed, you can tie it to the side using the provided string so it stays out of your way when you are soaking. What setting that needs to be set to, and how many tabs you go through weekly really depends on how the tub is used. I will mention more about that in the next slide. Basics, however, is that when you use your test strip to check your chlorine or bromine levels, and it is testing consistently on the low side, that means the dispenser needs to be opened more to allow for faster dissolving of the tablets. If it's testing consistently high, you need to close the dispenser slightly. Also, check your tablets at day 5. If you added 2 tablets to the dispenser and you kept a pretty steady level of bromine, and on day 5 they're completely dissolved, next time try 3 tablets instead of 2. It is a bit of trial and error. How much bromine or chlorine you need to keep your water safe is impossible for me to say. That's why we encourage you to test the bromine or chlorine reading every time prior to entering the hot tub. It was noted before that Health Canada recommends 3 to 5 parts per million to keep the water safe, but how fast that dissipates in the water depends on how many people are soaking in the tub, what time of day they took their shower, if there's a lot of moisturizers, cosmetics, and personal care products that are coming off of us and entering the water, along with the amount of perspiration body oils being released. Now, here's a fun fact for you. In 100-degree water, the average adult releases 1 pint of stuff for every 30-minute soak. And by stuff, I mean all the icky stuff that comes off of us and ends up in the water. The chlorine or bromine will seek out those wastes, attach to it, and sanitize it. That means it's not uncommon to see your sanitizer reading at, let's say, 3 parts per million prior to use, and then read at 0 after 2 people have been soaking in the tub for 30 minutes. Sanitizer in hot tubs can, and normally, deplete that quickly. With chlorine and bromine tablets always slow dissolving into the water, it helps to reestablish that sanitizer level for you for your next soak. However, it does take some time for those tablets to dissolve enough sanitizer into the water to bring those levels back up to normal. For that reason, we have provided bromine granules in your kit. This powdered bromine is used for an immediate boost of bromine in case you want to use the tub, but the bromine levels are too low. Add 1 cap at a time with the jets on. Allow the water to circulate for 5 minutes and retest. If it's still testing low, repeat that until 3 to 5 parts per million of bromine is established. And one more tip, if the use of the tub changes, adjust the bromine or chlorine accordingly. So if you have family visiting for a week, for example, and the tub gets more than normal use, you need to compensate by adding more bromine. Unlike other water care products that have a set amount, how much bromine or chlorine you need is specific to your tub and how it's used. I can't emphasize enough the importance of keeping the water healthy, so please use those test strips often. There is some trial and error to determine how much bromine you will go through in a week, what setting your dispenser should be at, and the amount of bromine tablets you will go through on a weekly basis. Water testing is so important to ensure the water is safe for you and your family. Again, use the provided test strips often at home, and remember to bring a sample of your hot tub water at least monthly to the store for full comprehensive testing. Remember, our water testing services are always free for our customers. Now that we have reviewed chemistry, we need to talk about other important aspects of great water care. So proper filtration plays a vital role in overall water quality. A dirty, clogged, or worn-out filter can fail in trapping debris and contaminants. This leads to dull or cloudy water, excessive foaming, odors, as well as put a strain on your pump. A hot tub filter should be rinsed weekly or as needed with fresh water to remove larger debris, and then chemically cleaned on average every 4 weeks or so. Filter cleaners are designed to remove oils, greases, and scale buildup that cannot be removed simply by rinsing with fresh water. To chemically clean your filter, add the filter cleaner in a large container of hot water, but large enough to be able to fully submerge the filter, and then wearing gloves, remove your filter from the hot tub and soak it in the filter cleaning solution. If using the Rapid Action Filter Cleanse, which is the recommended filter cleaner, let it soak for 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, remove the filter from the cleaning solution and rinse the filter with fresh water. And important, please allow the filter to fully dry before placing it back into the hot tub. Here are some of our filter cleaning tips. So filter cleaner, what it's doing is it's stretching the cartridge's fibers to allow scale and other deposits to fully be removed. Always allow your filter to completely dry before placing it back into the hot tub. This ensures the fibers can shrink back to normal size, allowing for optimal filtration. And your filter, it should be chemically cleaned on average every 4 to 6 weeks. It really depends on use, and also replaced after 1 year of use. If you have 2 filters and you keep switching them back and forth, you can get up to 2 years out of those cartridges before they need to be replaced. Best tip I can give you as well, always wear gloves when handling a dirty filter. A lot of the icky stuff that you do not want in the hot tub is on that filter. And never use a pressure washer to clean the filter. The high pressure, it can damage the filter's fibers, resulting in having to throw that one out and get a new one. And dispose of the filter cleaning solution after each use. It's not reusable, but rapid action filter cleanse can be poured down a household drain. Rinse your filter as needed with fresh water to remove loose debris, and periodically check your filter for rips or holes. Circulation plays a huge role as well in overall water care. Still waters might run deep, but flowing waters run clean. Circulating the water helps keep it free of contaminants by ensuring it's passing through your hot tub cartridge filter. Depending on the model, your hot tub may have an automatic circulation schedule. These cycles circulate the water to ensure all the water in your tub passes through the filters. When we install your hot tub, we will get this programming set up for you to ensure great circulation for the cleanest water possible. And don't be afraid to put those filters to work. The more you run your hot tub, the cleaner it'll be. Over time, the amount of stuff dissolved in your water will increase. It gets to the point where the water is so saturated and needs to be refreshed. If the amount of stuff dissolved in the water gets too high, the result is excessive foaming, odors, and cloudy water. Prior to draining your hot tub, always use a pipe cleaner to remove any buildup debris in the plumbing. Once the tub is drained, use Thrill Away 2 UV conditioner cleaner on all surfaces of the hot tub, including the acrylic shell, the outside cabinet, and both the top and bottom of your hot tub cover. Once the tub is refilled with fresh water, start your water treatment process again and get a water sample to the store for balancing recommendations. We have many accessories available for your hot tub. You can check them out on our online store at poolsuppliesnovascotia.pro. Here's a few of our customer favorites though. The Hydro Mop, it absorbs oils and greases, resulting in less water care products needed. The filter cleaning canister provides a great water to cleaner ratio and has a cover to keep the kids and pets out of the cleaning solution while the filter soaks, and a spinner brush on the inside that helps give your filter the best clean. The water wand or aqua comb is attached to your garden hose and helps get the water in each of the filter pleat for easy rinsing. The microfiber cleaning glove will not scratch the delicate acrylic, and the skimmer net makes for quick and easy scooping of debris. Thank you once again for choosing Holland Home Leisure. We are a family-owned local business that have been serving Nova Scotia for 40 years. Your business is so very appreciated. If you have any questions at all about your new hot tub, remember, we are here to help. Thanks again, and happy soaking.